Welcome to, but the caveat is I'm your host, Blue. I think I'm gonna just get rid of intros, period. We just gonna get rid of it. Y'all know where y'all at. Y'all know where y'all at this point. We've been doing this since the pandemic. Y'all know where y'all at now. So anyway, so and the love month is coming. February is coming. We're excited about it. I'm excited about it. And so I wanted to reach out and have some sidebar conversations about sister wives because I love these basic chicks and this basic man. He's not even basic. He's below average. Even in his prime, he wasn't cute. He thinks he is the stuff. So let's talk about something before we get into what he's about to talk about. He thinks he's revealing tea. He thinks like he is exposing Janelle. Like he just thinks like it's so much that he's exposing. And it's like you're not exposing anything. You're exposing yourself for being a manipulator. And you're exposing the games that you played since for the beginning of your relationship with these women to pit each other against each other. And and unfortunately it was the right opportunity that was provided to you by Janelle because I believe Janelle did try to orchestrate a backdoor deal with Kody because she was getting tired of the waiting because Meri stopped talking to her. She stopped talking to Kody because she couldn't trust none of them. And unfortunately, because of Janelle's impatience and her desperate need for money, because she was dumb enough to let this man manage her future, her money, he took all of her money and put it into the future of the wife that he wanted to make sure was, in his words, uh, safely kept. He didn't give a damn about you, but you gave everything and a damn about him. You gave him everything and you cared only about his future and Robyn's because it was clear as day that's all he was caring about. So anyway, so the sidebar conversation is let's talk about Suki. So Suki went on uh a podcaster's channel. I forget what her name is. She is spilling tea about how much of a prima donna Kody is. She talks about how like the women they just sit down, they get to talking. It's Kody that's like, check my makeup, check my hair. Can I see a mirror? Does my hair look good? And it's like, Kody, there is no hair. Read the room. Why do you think we're calling you skin band? Do you not see the skin band? So I know Robyn has a good laugh at the hoops that she's able to get this man to jump through, and that he's so dumb to take the blame for everything. So anyway, he's in this clip. He's revealing how he duped Janelle. So the trickery about Robyn and Kody is this: they play Game of Thrones in his family. They play Game of Thrones. It's well thought out. They sit together and they plot together, and then they orchestrate their plot against the other wives. I believe that everything is what these two has done is very calculated. He said that the NDA situation that he tried to pull with Meri was a bargaining tool because a bargaining chip. They wanted to be able to force Meri to sign over her rights to their current house because she put money into it. And how they wanted to do so was that they wanted to try to say, well, we're not going to sell this land without you signing this NDA stating that what you gave us, even though it was a loan, is now a gift. And so she wouldn't sign it. And that's what pissed them off. And so now because she wouldn't sign it, and then of course they didn't tell, well, they did tell Janelle because Janelle signed the NDA. And Janelle is such an idiot. She will sign anything. She's so trusting of this man and this woman. She will like sign anything. She signed the NDA, the ridiculous NDA that said that the money that she put into Robyn's house was a gift, even though it was a loan. It was clear as day. It was a loan. But she'll sign anything because she wanted the money so badly from this land and just wanted to wash her hands of the situation. Meri's not desperate. Meri has the B&B. She has a property. She has some money put away because she took care of her business. Janelle, how the fuck are you the accountant? How you have an accountant degree and saw where all the money was going and everything and did not protect yourself against this man? You saw how this man was spending money just like water, and you would question him on it, and he freaking like closed the books to you, wouldn't let you even look at the books anymore because you were being too nosy. How is it that you continue to contribute to this account knowing that were like blindly doing that. It's just amazing to me. And then when Meri stopped contributing, that's when they wanted to audit her. So Kody thinks he is spilling tea. He thinks, oh, I am spilling the tea and I'm revealing something. It just shows that how just downright devious he is. This was all to turn the two against each other because he saw that Janelle was working with Meri. And Meri, why would you expect Janelle to continue to remain loyal to you when the moment she told you the plot of what Kody and Robyn was doing, you ran right back to them and told them that Janelle told me this and then I should get a lawyer. So no, she's not going to continue to hold you down. But also, Janelle, be a woman. Say it with your chest. Look, I told her to get a lawyer. I did my part. It's not my responsibility to protect her. I got to think about my own interests. But as soon as I told her what was going on, she ran back to Kody and Robyn. So no, I wasn't going to continue to look out for her. Absolutely not. I was not going to continue to look out for this lady. So let's listen to the clip of Kody thinking he's spilling tea.
Because she's upset that I revealed that she was wanting to do a backdoor deal with me to get the property sold. And that was all just because she was panicking that we would lose the buyer.
There was no backdoor deal. There wasn't. There was no backdoor deal. We were talking about ways to get the thing done. Since Robyn had thrown this big rock, she was going to be the rock in the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was. She was the rock in the way. Would have gone through all clean without this crazy agreement being thrown in at the last minute, like days before the contract expired. Mm-hmm.
And also, I forgot to mention the one thing I wanted to mention, the catfishing. So the NDA actually exposed Robyn for the devious and sneaky person she is. She meticulously waited. She waited to the 11th hour to say, hey, I want you to sign this NDA. And so it was well thought out by those two. They were playing good cop and bad cop. And how do you play good cop and bad cop? You have one person come in and say, everything is good, Kody, and let's sign the deal. So those three sat, Meri, Kody, and Janelle, they sat down, they signed the agreement, and it was done. Then they waited till the bad cop came in with the agreement and was hoping that they were desperate enough because this was thought out by these two. How do we get these two to agree to a ridiculous deal? So they waited to the 11th hour. Robyn comes in with the NDA. And that's how we know this is Robyn's ideal. And then also, there was a snippet where Meri talks about the catfishing and how the catfisher knew conversations that she and Robyn had. And how would she know that? Because Robyn was talking to the catfish and because Robyn set it up. And so I believe, this is my theory, that they wanted to shame Meri into a corner and get Meri under control, just like they did with this NDA. And how do you do that? You take away the one thing that Meri prided herself on being, which was loyal. And so you make her look loyal so that she would try to buy her way into the family and do whatever it is you wanted her to do, which is hand it over the marriage. Well, she had already did that part. She already handed over the marriage. But you wanted her to hand over her finances without a fight. And so how do you do that? You take the fight out of her and you shame her. And how do you shame her on national TV? You catfish her. And that's what I believe Robyn did. Robyn catfished Meri to get more money out of her because they knew after a while Meri would get bitter about the divorce and stop contributing. She was already isolating herself from the family. And so this is why I believe that Robyn set up the catfish, because how sneaky at the last minute to go behind everybody and say, I'm not signing unless you sign this document. So I believe that she was playing in the background. She was feeding her friend Kendra information to be the face, to be the puppet, and to shield herself from being revealed as having communications with the catfish. The same technique she just used here with Kody. The puppet, she brought Kody in to get the wives on board with the agreement, thinking everything's going to be fair. And then here's Robyn comes in and she strikes. And so she was feeding Kody information to the wives because she wasn't talking to the wives, and so she sent the NDA through Kody, and so Kody became her puppet. He's thinking that he's the mastermind because he said, well, I told Robyn not to sign it. No, we don't believe that. We know that you didn't tell Robyn not to sign it. Robyn told you she wasn't going to sign it until they signed this NDA because she wants to be protected, kept. And how is she protected? She has to tie up the loose ends. And how do you tie up the loose ends? You have to catch people when they're vulnerable. And honestly, it was a good try, Robyn. It was a good try. Kudos to her. I mean, bravo. Can't hate on her for trying. But it didn't work. And Meri was on it. She clocked it. She clocked it. Janelle just signed like a dummy, but Meri clocked it and said, "No, I'm not desperate, bitch. I'm not just going to give you everything. I gave you the marriage. You got all that, and I gave you my man. You ain't getting all my money now. Now Meri's coming to collect." And rightfully so. I don't believe that Meri signed anything stating that the money from her house was a gift because he took the money. This is my opinion. This is my theory. He took the money from the family fund. The money went into the family fund, and he took it from the family fund and put it onto the house. Because why would they be so steadfast on having them sign an NDA? Why? Because they don't want us to know about the fact that the money was spent on her house, and they want her to agree that it was a gift because they know that she has rights to the house. He said he talked to a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure the lawyer told him that she does have rights to the house because her money was spent on that house without a gift promissory note. That's just my
days
thought.
before the contract expired.
Yes, it was a crazy agreement, and your dumbass signed it because they knew you were desperate. Like, she showed her hand to these greedy people that she wanted her money, and they knew that they could get you to sign. Whereas Meri stood on business and said, "No, I'm not signing that ridiculous contract. You're not going to do this to me again. You're not going to bully me into something that I didn't want, like the divorce. You're not going to get me to hand over everything, my financial records to you. No, I'm not doing any of this anymore. You are going to give me what I am owed, and y'all not going to continue to take everything from me." And Janelle continues to let these people take, and she just signing her life away like a fool. And Meri, kudos to you for standing up for yourself. Kudos for you to say, you know what, I'm not signing it. And Robyn, trying to be sneaky, she wanted them to sign the NDA so she could spin the narrative like she did. She wanted to try to make it seem like the NDA was to protect them and so that they're not talking about their finances in public and fighting about the finances. She didn't want us to know that these two women gave all their money to her. She didn't want us to know that. She also didn't want us to know that she used the Coyote Pass as a way to bully them into signing over that the money was a gift. She also still being protected by Janelle. Janelle still hasn't revealed to us that her son Garrison, his property was sold, and Kody threatened to go after it if she didn't sign over saying that the money that she gave to the house was a gift. That's how they squared things up. They're not saying that. And she's protecting it for whatever reason. It's like, girl, they already broke the NDA. So talk about it. Tell us how they bamboozle you. And then she just continues to sign shit. And it's just like, damn, Janelle, like for someone who's supposed to be an accountant, you are very stupid. I hate to call her these names, but this is ridiculous. Like, you can't trust these people. Why are you doing trusting things by signing paperwork that protects them? She's, I know she just wants to wash her hands of them, but sometimes you gotta fight. Like, sometimes you need to fight. This is ridiculous.
Okay, so this buyer comes back. Meri's hashing it out with the lawyers regarding what's going on. So what happens there? Like, what is the scene that's going on behind the scenes there?
There was a lot of time of just no communication.
Okay.
I would call Kody every once in a while and text Meri once in a while and say, like, guys, we have a ticking clock here. This is going to expire in 60 days. And they would be like, yeah, we're working on it, or Meri won't talk to me, or like, it was like a big waiting game.
Janelle was getting impatient. All of a sudden I hear from Kody, him and Janelle are talking about a backdoor.
Look at the way she's squinting her face. She has to think about what she's saying. Him and Janelle are thinking about doing a backdoor deal. Girl, you knew all about it and you were for it. You were for it, but y'all realized that y'all couldn't do it. So don't even try me like Robyn. This scripted bullshit that you're doing. The cat is out of the bag, Robyn. We know what you up to.
Deal where they sell the property out from under Meri. Meri was in a very precarious situation. And so I was like, hell no, you're not.
That you put her in. She was in a precarious situation that you put her in, and that she put herself in. She got to take responsibility too. That the fact that she was blindly putting money onto a land and not knowing where her name was and what percentage her name of the land was put on. She was too trusting of you. She was manipulated by you the same way that you like to say that she handed over the marriage. Yeah, she handed over her rights to land and property to you, trusting you, and she's in a peculiar situation because of you. But you don't want to admit that. Anything that's fraudulent or bad, you want to, no, 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 that has nothing to do with me. That's Kody. That's Kody. Like we're tired of that game, Robyn. You are the puppeteer. You are the mastermind behind the puppet. Cody's a puppet, and you're the puppeteer. You're telling him what to do. They played these women like a fiddle, and you're gonna get to see it, you
Doing
guys.
this to Meri. And I was like, why are you even talking to Janelle about this? This is wrong. This is morally wrong. He kept pressuring me. And I was just like, and then
What's morally wrong is to tell your sister why she has a shot at her husband rekindling things, and you know when you're pillow talking with him, he's telling you how desperate and pathetic she is, and that he doesn't even like this lady. Like, come on, you're always been morally wrong. And then the fact that she even tried to call herself, she has a strict moral compass is ridiculous. And Kody is trying to say that she is the pretty much the pillar of morality in the family. It's so funny.
like threatening me a little bit. And I was like, fine, if you want to go down this road, then I will go legal on you too. Okay? Because I actually have a percentage in this property and I will sit.
She is trying to make it seem like she is going legal, threatening to go legal for Meri. No, she is threatening to go legal on him if he doesn't make sure that that NDA is signed. That's what it's about. She wants him to put the pressure on. And so that's what what she's doing. It has nothing to do with marriage. She's all about herself. She doesn't think about anybody. And why she was so steadfast on not giving up this land and was so angry about giving up this land was because the 5 parcels was for her 5 children. When she talks about the big picture, the family getting on the land, she's talking about her own family. She was hoping that these bully tactics that she and Kody do, she was hoping that Meri and Janelle give up their rights to the land because you see how Janelle's just signing shit over. You see how they were able to get Christine to just sign over her portion to them. They were hoping the same thing. Time and bullying. They were hoping to get these two out the way, and it didn't work.
Here in the middle of this road, and I will not I will make sure we don't sell this property until we do this fairly.
I think she's just trying to cover because she's upset that I revealed that she was wanting to do a backdoor deal with me to get the property sold. And that was all just because she was panicking that we would lose the buyer.
This is working so well because Robyn and Kody are very smart. Kudos to them. They play these women like a fiddle. So he was able to pull Janelle into a conversation, even if the conversation wasn't about a backdoor deal, like Janelle said. The fact that you sat down with him without Meri present shows your betrayal in my book. You should have said, no, 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 no. Let's all sit down, me, you, and Meri, and get this done. I don't want to do any sitting down with you by myself anymore because that's not right to Meri. Meri deserved to be at the table. There was too many times that Janelle and Kody and Robyn all sat at the table and did shicey shit. Because if y'all notice, Janelle's name was on more parcels than Meri's, and Kody talks about this. And Robyn's name was on more parcels too. It was Robyn and and Janelle who had the most percentage wise of the land, and it was because those three were in cahoots. And I believe that this is my opinion that Janelle felt guilty once everything imploded about the position that she helped put Meri in, and that's why she warned Meri. It wasn't because she was looking out for Meri. It was because of a guilty conscience, I believe.
There was no backdoor deal.
Oh, I'm sorry. I replayed that. My bad, y'all. So what I want to stress it here is that Janelle's lying. She's not being truthful. And the reason why I know Janelle's lying and Kody's somewhat telling the truth is because when they mention this to Christine, do you think, that Janelle made a backdoor deal behind Meri? Christine didn't confirm or deny that. She usually defends Janelle, and that's when I believe that their relationship has changed because she's not defending Janelle. She's saying that there's a little bit of truth in all of it from each side. And so I believe Christine believes that Janelle did something behind Meri's back because Janelle has done things behind Christine's back. When Christine, and I'm going to take it all the way back. When Christine was tired of watching the kids, wanted to work, wanted to get out of the house, wanted the kids to be taught by teachers, she was the one, and Kody were the one ganging up on her, making her feel bad for busting up the agreement. And I'm sure uh, Meri was in tow with that because anything Kody wanted, Meri was echoing that. She was the guard dog to put the women in line. And so I believe that Janelle has always been undermining of her other sister wives, and that's why they don't trust her, and that's why Christine isn't quick to defend her. But I don't believe that Janelle is malicious as Robyn, but I think she's just as sneaky because percentage wise, Janelle and Robyn were almost tied as far as the land is concerned. They had the biggest parcels, and Janelle's name was all over it. And it was Kody blaming Janelle, saying that Janelle was advising him on how to split up the land. And there is some truth to that because I'll bring it back to when they first bought the land, and then Janelle and Meri were, trying to hash out their relationship. And on the land, Janelle said that she did not want Meri to have the piece of land that had the lake because she thought that she wouldn't be fair and let the family have access to it. So Kody is right when he says that Janelle didn't trust Meri, and but that's not truth when it comes to how the picking of who was put on what land. I believe that the picking of who was put on the parcels was indicative of his relationships with the wives at the time. At the time, he was getting along really well with Janelle and Robyn, and he didn't like Christine or Meri. So they got the smallest pieces. Christine and Meri got like 15% lots. They got really small lots, like 2 acres. Mind you, Christine had more kids than Meri and had just as many kids as Janelle and more kids than Robyn. And that was a lot of the reasons why they tried to cut Meri out of things and give her less than everybody because they will always say, you only have one child, we have six, blah, 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 blah. We need to make sure that it's fair. And so, why was it that Christine had only 2 acres? And Christine, everybody's like yelling she did her sister wives dirty, and to a degree she did, but then again, the same thing would have happened to her that happened to Meri. I mean, it happened to Janelle when she told Meri to lure her up. If she would have came to Janelle and Meri and said, look, I want to sign this over to you guys to make sure it's fair, I believe at the time that these two would have ran back to Kody, or they would have told her to go to Kody with it anyway. But now, hindsight, because they were pushed out, because everybody keeps saying they left, they didn't leave. These women were pushed out. When they were pushed out, now Meri wants to blame Christine and say that Christine shouldn't have signed it over to Kody and Robyn. It's like, oh, Meri, you would have kissed their butt anyway, and you would have been in agreement with it. So stop. But anyway, this was a good tell all. We're starting to get to the money of things where we've been wanting to head. It would have been nice if Suki would have pressed Robyn more about the NDA, but she did push a little bit because she said, Robyn, they're saying that you brought up this NDA last minute, and then Robyn tried to lie and say that it was in the original document. And I would have loved if Jen would have made sure Meri brought the documents so that she could prove to Suki and to us that what she's saying is truth and that this was last minute. Because Robyn needs to be caught on her shit and proof needs to be submitted. I think moving forward in the tell-alls, if this show it continues, the other sister wives bring the proof. Put this lady on blast. I'm tired of her being able to play the he said said game, her my word against their word game. Like, show us the shit in black and white. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure you leave 5-star rating, and y'all have a good night.